Hey guys, I'm here to do my updated foundation routine. I've done this I don't know how many times, but now I'm here again to do it just for you. I'm gonna go a little bit more, sorry my light is still out. I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth about this, like as in terms of like foundation for you and everything. The first thing I'm going to get to is the pre-foundation. About cleansing, toning, and moisturizing. I'll have a new skincare video soon. But basically just find one that fits for you. Like if you have oily skin, get stuff to help the oil and everything. And then like if you have dry skin, find like moisturizers that are good for you. I mean, regardless of your skin type, your skin needs moisture. I'll show you mine here in a second because it kind of ties into my foundation routine. But every skin type needs moisturization, even if you're oily. I had combination skin, so what that means is I get oily on my nose and on my forehead, my T-zone. You get that, T? You know what I mean? Like, you just have to find the moisturizer, and my hair is kind of flat today because it's just a lazy day. But you just have to find the right one for you. That's just to sum it all up. Another pre-foundation thing is primer. Now what primer is going to do for you is it's going to ensure your foundation just like staying on and everything. Again, there's all kinds of different primers. You just need to find one that works for you. I haven't found an amazing one. I used the NYX Photo Loving primer. This is like a gel silicone based. I think it's silicone based. I don't know. It feels like silicone. It feels nice, but oh, it's made in South Korea? It feels nice, but I mean, it kind of feels a little oily for me. I don't know, I've never really like ventured out into primer land, except for my eyes. So, I don't know. I mean, it gets the job done. I can tell that it does help. But like I said, there's all kinds of different primers. So, like, some will have more benefits than the other. Like, some are targeted towards more specific things, you know what I mean? Like this one is to help give a HD finish. Like it apply before foundation for an unbelievably smooth complexion. Experience the magic for yourself. Scars yours to be kept. Sounds like Pretty Little Liars. I don't watch that show. But yeah, I think you get the drift of it. You just need to find one that works for you and everything. And like if you go into Sephora, you can ask the artist. Some of them can be bitchy. Some of them can be pretty dumb of the products that they sell, but just kind of make it seem like you're interested, and then ask like for maybe a sample of one or two, and then they better give you a sample. If not, call me. See, like this one, this is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer, and this is one to help give your skin a glow and a sheen and everything. With this, you can, I mean, with anything really, you can mix it into your foundation. I would probably mix this one in. I don't know. I haven't really played with this a lot. I mixed it in with my client's foundation once, and her skin looked really, really, like, almost dewy, not completely dewy, but really just, like, fresh and revived. But for me, I'm just going to put this on. I'm going to go step by step. I cleansed, toned. No, I didn't. I haven't done that today. Way to go by my own word. But I'm just going to put this on. I just get literally the tiniest amount. And what I do is I just put this underneath my eyes. You can even use eye primer down here, like if you're going to do your eye makeup. I can go around my nose with this too. Remember, whenever you're working with your eyes, use your ring finger. It applies the least amount of pressure, and that comes in handy because your skin around your eye is so delicate. You don't want to be tugging at it a lot. So just like that, and I'm also going to apply a little bit of eye primer, just because I have fine lines underneath my eyes, and though this does a good job of kind of like erasing them, I'm just going to apply just a little bit of Urban Decay Primer Potion, just to make sure that my concealer doesn't crease into them. MAC has a primer. It's the Vibrancy Eye Primer that I've heard is really good for this, to keep concealer and foundation from sinking into fine lines underneath your eyes. But this is my solution for right now. Now on to the next step. I already applied it to my forehead. But this is a BB cream. This is the Garnier BB cream. I love this stuff. Basically, it's just like a tinted moisturizer. I have one from Urban Decay. It's like in their old packaging. This one's like too orange for me, so I never use it. But I'm just going to use this one. Yeah. You can just use a normal moisturizer and then use a... I just get that much, by the way. And then just apply foundation over top of that. But this is what I would do on a day-to-day basis. Now, personally, on my drier parts of my face, like my cheeks and stuff from down here, doesn't do that great of a job of moisturizing. But it has SPF in it, which is good. Sometimes I'll moisturize, sometimes I don't. It's just however I feel like it. But normally you should moisturize just to give your skin some hydration, because if it dehydrates, then that's bad for it. So just like that, it's easy. You can tell that my skin's evened out and everything. I'm going to get a tiny bit more and apply it to my neckline. I just rub it up. I just warm it up in my hands, just so it's more pliable. Whenever you work with your neck, you want to rub up. You want to rub up because over time, if you're pulling it down like this, like rubbing down, over time you're going to cause the muscles in your neck to sag down and the skin to sag down, and that'll look gross. Yeah, I'm just choking myself. That'll look gross and old. I'm going to go wash my hands really fast because I can't stand stuff on my hands. Alright, so on a lazy day, I would call this a day, like maybe set it with some powder. But for the point of this tutorial and whatever, what I would do for a tutorial is I would apply foundation. Again, you need to find a foundation that works with your skin tone and everything. If there's one major thing as opposed to skincare to invest in, it's probably foundation. Because if your skin is, with the help of good skincare and skincare habits, just because you have the good stuff doesn't mean it's automatically gonna like, perfect skin. You gotta keep up with it. If your skin looks really nice and everything, people will notice, and it's like the biggest part, obviously. And you can just throw on some eyeliner and mascara and call it a day if your skin looks really good. So it'd be like one of the main things to invest in, I think, in terms of makeup. And the foundation I use, and I've been using for a while, is the NYX HD foundation. Mine is in soft beige. I haven't tried the lighter one. There went the lid. I don't have NYX around here anywhere, so I just ordered it online. And it matches pretty well. It's not a perfect match, but it's good enough. For my combination skin, this works, like I said, pretty well. This is more of this is another point. You need to find out which kind of coverage you need. I would say this is maybe like a light to medium coverage. Maybe be able to build up to full. I never put on that much. I would call this a light coverage. It just evens out everything. Doesn't really cover much except for like just evening out your skin tone. A medium would deal with like minor, like maybe a little acne scarring or something, and then full would just cover up everything. But with that, full can sometimes be too heavy on the skin or too drying or whatever. It's a vast world of foundations. Yeah, I mean, you just really have to like go online and see read reviews for foundations and see like all the pros and cons, like what type of people with this type of skin, how that worked on them, and then vice versa. You know what I mean? I didn't really look at this. I just kind of ordered it on a whim, and I ended up liking it, so that's a plus sign. And I like foundations with pumps because I hate dumping shit on my hands because then you just get way too much. What you're normally supposed to do is apply foundation and then concealer, but I like to conceal first. I don't know why, I just do. It's just my habit. And just like as foundation, it's a whole nother world with concealer. You need to find the one that works for you. That's like the big slogan for your skin and foundation and concealer and everything. Find the one that works for you and your skin. Just like foundation, there's all kinds of different coverages in concealer. The one I have is a full coverage concealer. and it pretty much covers up everything, and it does a good job. And the one I use is by Lancome. It's the smilekylee. I really hope I'm saying this right. smilekylee. It's a full coverage concealer. It looks like this. It's not a dead on color to my skin, but I cover it up with foundation anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is like a liquid concealer, obviously. I mean, you see it's liquid. Gel-based concealers are normally really good for underneath your eyes because they give some hydration, so they won't sink into fine lines. Normally liquids sink into fine lines, but I haven't really had a big problem with the Lancome one. One I did have a problem with, which one was it? This one, the Maybelline Superstay Concealer. This one was really drying. Not only was it too light, but it was really drying, and it just sunk into fine lines. It looked really bad, and it hurt taking it off. So, I also have this Garnier Skin Renew Anti-Dark Circle Renew. I almost said renewer. I like it, but I mean, I've just found a routine that helps a lot better. And then the Milani HD Concealer, I like this. It's just not enough coverage for me. So I'm just gonna apply this with my fingers. Make sure if you're using your hands that your hands are clean. I just washed mine. So, or you can use hand sanitizer. Just make sure it's clean so you're not putting dirty fingers all over your face, because then you're just gonna break out. So I'm just tapping this on and then blending this in again with that ring finger so we don't apply too much pressure to the eye. You can see how that just like completely lit up my whole eye over here. That's why I love this concealer. And I just kind of drag it out here so it just blends some more. So on the other side, and you can use brushes for this. I'm gonna get more into brushes in a second, but I would normally use a fluffy brush like this. There's hair on it. This is the E25 by Sigma. I just buff it in underneath the eyes, and it gets the job done. I like it, and it's soft too. I'm going to apply a little bit more concealer on this eye, my left eye. So like that, you can see that already makes a huge difference in my complexion. I'm not really breaking out anywhere yet. Yet. So I'm just going to dab this concealer around my nose. Yeah, I have more than one nose. It's just a symptom that my doctor said I had, a syndrome. And around my mouth because it gets red right there. I have a little spot right there. A little few right there. And then my forehead. I just put the whole tube on my forehead. So I'm just putting this all over my forehead because that's where I have scars and break out the most. And like I said, I'm going to get into brushes in a second, but this is my round top kabuki brush, the F82 from Sigma. My favorite brush ever. I'll tell you why here in a little bit. So I'm just buffing this and then stippling. Just whichever one I feel like doing. Up here I'm going to stipple, because that'll give you some more coverage. And then go back over and buff it, just to make sure it's blended. So like that, I mean, hello beautiful. I'm kidding. I'm really kidding. And then we come into the world of correctors and everything. And some concealers like will come in a corrector color like orange or what are they? There's green for like redness, purple to illuminate, peach, like a peach or orange or an apricot color to cancel out blue. Yellow to cancel out blue, depending on which one's more dominant underneath your under eye. This is my Tarina Tarantino Eye Dream Hyperlight pen. This is an illuminizer and corrector for anywhere really, anywhere you want to put it. I'm just going to put it, I dot it underneath my eyes, like that. I love this stuff because it just, there's like no shimmer in it, but it just gives this gorgeous glow. And I bring it out onto my cheekbones like that, as you can see. hit a little bit at my nose. Take my finger again and blend that up. See, I like to go from low to up because of my fine lines. If you put it all right here and then like blend it down, all of it's gonna like start to cake up into those fine lines. So I just go low and then start to blend it up. And you can see that just gives my nose. It just gives my under eye area and cheekbones just a nice little glow. Holla. And then onto foundation. Since I already have that BB cream on, I really couldn't go without using this probably. But I'm just going to apply, I'm going to shake it up first. Like 1 pump. And then again, it's way too much anyway. I'll get into brushes here in a second. I'm just going to dot this all over. And then go around. I'm not going underneath my eyes because then it'll just get too cakey. And I like how it's lit up there, so I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to go around and buff this all over the face. Make sure, especially if your foundation's darker of any sort, to buff it into the hairline and then bring it down onto the neck. Because if you just have a line and it's really obvious, then it's not going to look good. So just make sure you just bring it down at least a little bit just to make sure just kind of coincides with the face. Sometimes I'll take this as some kind of gorgeous, and this is just kind of like, I don't really know what this is. I think it's just like it's like a foundation faker. Don't know exactly what to call it, but sometimes I'll take this and then just tap underneath my eyes. It's just a really thin, like, gel-like substance. And I just use it as, like, a corrector. It just looks like that. I'm guessing it's kind of like a tinted moisturizer in a way. But I'm not going to just because they look pretty covered right now. Now into setting the face. And I'll still get into brushes here in a second. Onto setting the face. Setting your face with powder. Whether it be translucent, uncolored, or whatever, I'll fix this in a little bit too, is really going to ensure that your foundation lasts all day, because if you set it, then it's just obviously set there. If you don't, then it's just out here in the open, and like if you can wipe it away, it will just set your foundation. You can set it with a loose powder, pressed powder, mineral powder, any kind of powder. The one I use is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and this is just a light coverage powder, and it has a little bit of a sheen just to like not completely matte out your face, but just give it a natural look. This is I don't think they don't sell this anymore, but not where it's double. Like you can see, this one's shimmery and that's the powder, but they do sell just this whole powder, and my color is in Light Plus. It's like in between light and medium, so Light Plus. And I just use a stippling brush like this. I don't know the new number because I have the old numbering of the Sigma brushes. So it's just a stippling brush. You can use a big powder brush, but I just like the stippling one. So I get it onto the brush as such, tap away the extra, and then I just dribble it onto the skin. And then just kind of fluff away any extra powder. You can just see how this side's shiny, this side is just natural looking. So that's a good thing if like your foundation leaves a dewy finish or something. Because if you're oily, you don't want to look too dewy or dewy at all. So just find a powder just to matte it out, and you're good. I mean, you can see the difference. Oily or dewy, natural. You get me? That's another thing about foundation while I'm setting the rest of this. like I said, find one that works for you. Because I'm just gonna use one that I just can think of off the top of my head. Say you have oily skin. You're gonna want one that leaves a matte finish. One that I can think of, like I said, just right off the bat, just nothing in particular, but the NARS Sheer Matte that leaves a matte finish on your skin and cancels out all the oil. Well, it's supposed to. I haven't worked with it, but cancels out all the oil. But say you have dry skin, you want a dewy, like moisturized look and everything. And our Sheer Glow will give you just a nice glow from within kind of feel, and like a nice dewy, not necessarily dewy, but kind of like a satin finish. That's like in between normal and dewy satin. It's like the typical like real skin look. So like I've been saying, you just need to find one that works for you. Make sure to drag this powder, or just what's left on the brush, down. So, ta-da! All natural looking. Now that's it for my foundation routine, but now I'm going to talk about brushes. Another good thing to invest in is in good brushes, and make sure you take care of them because they'll last you forever if you do so. A few typical brushes that you can use in the application of foundation, other than your fingers, are this. This is just a synthetic standard foundation brush, just painted on practically. Not a huge fan of this, just because I've experienced other brushes that I like a lot, but people are normally a fan of this, so this is just a typical one. Then you can use what I use to put the powder on. This is a dual fiber brush, and the white part is synthetic hair, and then this part down here, the black one, is natural hair, and this just helps to give an airbrushed look. That's why I like to use it with the powder, because I just buff it on and it just leaves a flawless look, and I like it a lot. I think there's something on my face. But I used to use this for foundation all the time, and I like the look of it too as well. And then I met this little guy, and I fell in love. And it's my round top kabuki brush from Sigma. It's all synthetic fibers, and it's so soft, and it works wonders for your skin. Oh, I got a lisp right there. All kinds of cars are just driving by now that I'm recording. But this really just buffs the foundation of your skin to make it look as natural as it possibly can, and I just love this brush. It's the F82 by Sigma. And then I know X-Sparkage, and I'm sure a few other people like to use this brush to put foundation on. I've never done that, so I can't really say. It's just an angled, fluffy, like contour blush brush. And it's all natural hair. Now the difference between all natural hair and synthetic hair. Okay, I'm going to use these for example. All natural, all synthetic. All natural brushes are real animal hair. Hopefully there's not human hair. If somebody's making makeup brushes out of human hair, that's a little bit disturbing. Just like natural hair, say if you got a liquid onto this, if we put water on our hair, our hair absorbs it. So if we put a liquid on this, it's going to absorb the foundation. The synthetic might a little bit, but not as much as a natural. So that's why synthetic brushes are better to use creams and liquids and gels. Whereas this is better for powders and like mineral powders and pressed powders, because it's just natural hair, so it'll be easy to blend in everything. And now it's really up to you what you want to do with your brushes, but it's just the general rule of thumb is that synthetic doesn't absorb as much product as a natural hair would, and when you wash them they also take longer to dry because they're synthetic. But again, since they're synthetic, they'll be more liable to keep their shape whenever you wash them, whereas a natural hair can fray out like this, like same one like that. But Sigma makes the dry in shape, looks like this, and you put your brushes in after you wash them, and it helps them keep their shape and reforms them back to like what they're normally, like they're brand new. And I love this. I'm so happy I got this. I really hope that I covered everything. If you guys have a question, just let me know down in the comments below and I'll get back to you. I think I did. I hope I did. I feel like I did. But if I didn't, because I probably didn't answer a specific question of yours. So if you have one, just let me know, because I know this video is going to be long as hell, because this is 23 minutes already, not counting the first like 10 that I already talked. So I hope you guys made it through all. If you did, go tell your mom you need a cookie. I hope you guys like this video, and again, I'm sorry it's long, but it was just a lot of information, and I try to talk fast if you cannot tell. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope this was helpful to you. Bye bye.